Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond 13th Gate. In this week's video, we ask our gators how they got into haunt acting and what drew them to the 13th Gate specifically.
If you really like this video, leave it a thumbs up and consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell so that you can be notified when we upload new content.
Check it out.
Alright, so the way I got into haunt acting, actually, I was between jobs, and I just saw a Facebook ad that they needed actors for 13th Gate. I've been a long time fan of, as a customer for years and years in high school and middle school, coming through the gate as a customer. So I said, yeah, why not? I'll interview.
Well, I remember coming to the 13th Gate when I was in 3rd grade. I believe that was 2002 or 2003. And walking out of here, I told my dad, I said, I'm never coming back to this place again. I mean, years later, got a job here.
I initially got into it because I saw someone post about wanting to go to the haunted house, and I thought, man, I've wanted to work here for a while, and I just didn't have the opportunity throughout the years. And then I just happened to be in between jobs at the time, so I went in, auditioned, got the job, and been coming back ever since.
So I had a friend who was working at the haunted house. His name was Michael Ruffin, and he, was talking about how much fun it was, and I thought that does sound like a fun job. I sent in an email, and not knowing how desperately they need guys my size at a haunted house, and that probably looked like gold the second that email came in. Mm-hmm. And one night, it was Friday in the middle of the day, and they called me up and they said, can you come in? I think I had like 2 or 3 hours notice at that point. And I said, yeah, sure. And I called people up and said, hey, I got to cancel plans for tonight. I've got a new job. And they were like, no, you don't. What job hires you 2 hours before a Friday night? Like, you're not working at a strip club, Willie.
So thankfully, whenever I was 19, I still listened to the radio. And I heard on the radio that they were hiring for actors at 13th Gate. I had always been a fan. First time ever coming here was in middle school, and after that, I was really into the horror scene at that time. So whenever I learned, like, oh, I can actually work here, yeah, I'm gonna go audition and do that. So
when I started, I actually didn't have a job when I started. I had a recommendation from a friend who said, hey, the 13th Gate's looking for actors your size. So I emailed. I was super nervous. I'd never done anything like this before. So I emailed the staff here my height and weight, and within probably 10 minutes I got an email back saying, can you start tonight in about an hour? And ever since then I've been addicted to this. Every year I come back and I'm excited for every part I get to play.
My mom, whenever I moved to Louisiana when I was little, my mom would always show me the 13th Gate commercials, but she would never let me go through until I was old enough. So once she realized that I had such a big passion for this place, she would actually start tagging me in the Facebook post for it and stuff and be like, hey, look, the auditions are coming up, you should try it. And that's just kind of how I ended up here.
So how I got into acting in the haunt. So I got a phone call from my brother one day. He's like, hey, they're looking for people my size. You want to work at 13th Gate? I was like, you know what? Sure, let's do it. So I literally drove up here. They gave me a piece of paper. I signed it. They gave me a costume, stuck me in a spot, and that was it. And it just keeps drawing me back.
I was in a death metal band at the time, so I was like, oh yeah, that sounds great for a resume. I'm a vocalist for a metal band. I can make big, scary sounds, and that was how I got started.
I started writing characters and everything until it was actually my first character. Her name's actually Matilda Barclay. And it was just amazing to me to actually be in this place, and I'm still terrified to this day. I would not walk in here by myself. I walk with Jesus. Jesus, right?
If you know what you want to go for, you can really prepare for it, because I personally didn't know what to expect my first year, and I just thought, do something creepy, do something weird, scary. So I memorized a monologue from the Joker from a comic called The Killing Joke, and that got me landed as a clown.
I did put together something. I actually did I was going to do a monologue from Hamlet, but I was terrified whenever I walked into the room, so I just talked to them and I told them how passionate I was with the scary genre and that I was a big fan of working there, and luckily I still got hired.
I did a monologue from Pamela Voorhees, Jason Voorhees' mom, Friday the 13th, and it was really intimidating because that was when they had the big round table and I felt very up close and personal. It was my first acting experience one-on-one with somebody.
Well, I moved here in 2010 to go to LSU. And as we were touring Baton Rouge, I saw the iconic Grim Reaper over this big warehouse. I was like, ooh, that looks exciting. My family's never really celebrated Halloween, so never really got to experience Halloween growing up other than church functions. I've never been trick-or-treating. Only time I went through a haunted house was when I was 7 at an amusement park, and it was dark as all get out in there. Ran to the wall 3 times. But it grabbed my attention and intrigued me.
At one point in my life, I wanted to be a teacher. I got my degree in art education. I was an art teacher for about a year before that didn't work out, and I was trying to get back into it, so I was doing substitute teaching, which it turned out was not as readily available as I was wanting. I was working about 1 day a week. I was making enough money to pay my bills, barely. But I really just wasn't getting any job satisfaction from my life, which is unusual for me.
I've always been really fascinated with just anything creepy and horror in general. And when I was about 12, I first set foot in the 13th Gate, and I knew from that point on that I had to be a part of it.
I thoroughly enjoy it here. Every season you come back, the family grows a little bit bigger every season, so we get new actors trying out new parts, new different styles. You get to meet new people. Lots of interesting people work here, and this place sort of gravitates people to it of certain personality types. So you get to meet all kind of awesome, amazing personalities.
I think if you are into frightening people, you've done it before. Like if you prank your friends, stand behind the door and shout at people, that's something that you just find fun that you do unprompted. Or I mean, if you do improv and you like that back and forth with people, I could see that being a gateway drug into being a haunt actor.
There's a fast turnaround. It's hot and heavy in the haunt world as far as we send out a lot of emails that day, and then we have a lot of people who look forward to working here their entire life and get the job and then quit the next day. Turnaround is kind of the name of the game here. It's do or die. People don't realize this is a hard job. And it's one that surprises you, not only in you're asked an hour beforehand to be there, but then that it's drastically different from any other work environment you'll be in.
It is hard on the body. Sometimes you come out here with some cuts and scrapes and bruises and stuff, but it's worth it in the end. It's one of those processes where it's hard going and it can be a little tough at times, but the end result is often quite hysterical to see grown people pee in their pants.
It's like people skills, but the opposite. It's like having the ability to interact with people in a way that they hate.
If you don't know what you want to do, just come in with a lot of passion and just make them understand just how much you love, Halloween and scary stuff and the spooky and the weird and as long as you have passion for it, you're welcome here, Like, you don't have to be Leonardo DiCaprio or Meryl Streep level acting. As long as you can do the job and you love doing it, that's what we need.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. We really hope you enjoyed learning how some of our cast members found their home at the 13th Gate and in the haunt industry.
Come back next week to see what else we have in store for you guys, and leave us a comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
See you later.